Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about The Girl in the Tower Part 9. We are concluding the story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. When we last left off, we had talked about the relationship between Gypsy and Ryan Anderson and how they dated and would eventually get married in 2020. And around this year in 2023, Gypsy would actually be released from prison. Prior to being released from prison, Ryan Anderson would actually tell the police that by Gypsy, his wife's request, they did not want any media coverage or anybody there, and the police would respect their wishes. And so on the day that Gypsy was released from prison, Ryan would not only meet his wife there, but he would actually have a camera crew in tow, and they would actually film her being released. They would throw a party at the house where Gypsy had made plans to actually attend a football game. But later on in the video, Gypsy would get some bad news where her parole officer would say that they had to flee the state because of media coverage and just people would be going crazy. So she had to flee at that point in time. Gypsy would also create an Instagram account and would also make a TikTok account and other social media accounts. And Ryan Anderson would have, similar accounts and stuff like that. And when she made these accounts, Gypsy would almost automatically just get instant fame. When she had made her TikTok account, she would just almost overnight go from 0 to 9 million followers. And people started having kind of like a 50-50 view of Gypsy Rose. Some would give her very large amounts of support and would just back up anything she said. And people would start looking at everything that Gypsy was saying and would just almost feel that there was something off about Gypsy. One person in particular would actually go and make a report and say that they didn't think that it was fair that Gypsy only had to do 10 years when she orchestrated the entire murder, and would even go as far to say that if it had not been for Gypsy, Nicholas Gogin would have never committed murder in the first place. Gypsy would actually retort in this statement and say that looking back at it, she regrets the actions of having her brother killed. And she would even go as far to say that she talked to other boyfriends inside prison, and they would even go and say that they would not kill her mother for her. But it's kind of ironic that after the fact that she had gotten Nicholas to do this, that she would change her story then. Nicholas would also be interviewed, and he would make a statement that, he didn't care who she was with, that she was his soulmate, he still loved her, and if she had asked him to do it again, he would actually do it again. Gypsy would also respond to the statement and say that she more or less makes the statement that she did not love him, and she would even go and make a statement that the only person that she was really in love with is her husband, and that she had a hard time more or less believing in men, because she would make the statement that Ryan Anderson was the only guy that didn't more or less force her to do sexual acts. And she would even go as far in this statement and make the statement that not only did Nicholas Gogin force her to have sex, but she would also make a statement that her grandfather, from the moment she was 9 years old, would actually molest her. But this statement has neither been confirmed nor denied, and like I said, people really started backing away, and the moment she started noticing people started backing away, she started not being in the limelight as much. People would say that she was very odd and weird. There was one account she went to a red carpet kind of environment and would make the statement, when I said roll out the red carpet, I didn't mean literally. And she just kind of laughed, and it just kind of made people just kind of awkwardly laugh along. And this is just kind of where she just started really kind of backing away. But other people have also said that Ryan Anderson might even be a repeat of Dee Dee Blanchard. Some even saying that the only reason that Gypsy Rose even married him was because that he had similar features of her mother.
It's hard to do, but you can do it.
Oh, I went from 19 to 32. Jeez, God, I got old so quick. How did that happen?
You never went to school either.
Mm-hmm. You know, if I said something that I wasn't supposed to, she'd squeeze my hand. And I know.
What you just seen was a video of an interview between Ryan and Gypsy, and you can clearly see in the video that at a certain point that he's trying to say something, she doesn't more or less grab his arm, but she places her hand on his arm, and immediately, as soon as she does this, he becomes quiet, and he tries to say something a second later, and you can clearly hear Gypsy say, "Shut up." And it's kind of haunting when you listen to the accounts of Gypsy Rose, and she would say on these interviews with her mother, if her mother were to grab her hand and squeeze it, it was kind of her cue to say, "You need to shut up." And it almost is kind of haunting because it's like a repeat. You know, instead of Dee Dee being the, abuser, now you have Gypsy, who has almost, it seems, transformed from survivor to predator herself. And Ryan Anderson has been given not just a lot of concerns from other people, but also people have also been bullying Ryan Anderson as well, saying that the only reason he ever married Gypsy was because of her money. But considering the source and considering the fact that Gypsy has never really told the truth her entire life.
This is actually kind of the first time I've been honest. Besides being honest, with my attorneys, that I haven't been completely honest with them.
Looking back at it, it's really hard to tell what Gypsy said that was fact and what was she saying that was fabricated. All we really know are the stuff that we have from the court documents and the receipts that were used there from the emails and the text messages, and the rare accounts that Dee Dee actually had abused Gypsy. But to what point? People have actually asked Gypsy if she thinks that Nicholas should be free, and she would just reply, "I did my time, he can do his time." Most people have said that they don't believe Gypsy should even have that kind of freedom, because if she should have freedom, then the Menendez brothers should have freedom. Considering that the Menendez brothers were completely abused by their father their entire lives. And it's almost a carbon copy, same story. I really hope that this doesn't be a recurring pattern, and I really hope that Gypsy and Ryan Anderson move on with their lives and just kind of move forward away from this situation that happened. And it's completely devastating that even though Dee Dee was no good person, she still didn't deserve what she got, regardless how evil and twisted she was. This was just a crazy story. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but I definitely think that there are some definite red flags that we need to look into when it comes to Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Y'all have a wonderful night, my friends.